Welcome to the Marine Corps League on Staten Island, where Celtic Cross Pipes and Drums meets every Thursday night to practice for their next event, parade, fundraiser, etc. I'm Maeve, and I'm a member of Celtic Cross Pipes and Drums, as well as other organizations on Staten Island that deal with Irish culture and keeping the tradition alive. However, this documentary isn't about me. It's about the Irish people on Staten Island and the community they've built. So please, kick back, relax, and I hope you brought your kilts, because you're in for a wild ride through Irish culture on Staten Island. Celtic Cross Pipes and Drums was founded about 7 years ago by Matt and Catherine Travers, who just so happen to be my uncle and aunt. The band attracts a large youth group from teens all over the island, some as low as 9 years old, and other newcomers who are in their 50s. For the band members, playing is just the norm, but for others, definitely a unique talent. What do people say when you tell them that you play the drums in a pipe band?
People usually say that I'm really young to play it and I have a talent.
Usually it's like, really?
People usually don't know how to react when you say you play the drums in the pipe band because that's not what they know of and they don't know really what it is.
They just say, cool.
They just smile and nod, like they're like, yeah, okay.
For most of the pipers and drummers, the band is about family, an unbreakable bond, and a magical culture untapped before.
Celtic Cross Pipe Band was started not really as a pipe band, it was started as a cultural group. We were doing shows. We wanted to bring piping to a different level. We wanted to work with people from other cultures.
I always kind of never felt like I was like in touch with the Irish side of myself, and now I am. And it was a good way for my dad and I to bond.
I'm going to do this for myself, and it's also something to do with my children. This is something that we can do together. So it's like, this is a win-win for me.
Irish culture is kind of like very interesting to me, so like I like to be part of it.
They have such an incredible history, and there's so many traditions that I get to follow along in every single year.
I love hanging out with my friends.
Immersing yourself in rich culture is a common theme amongst the pipers. For Dawn Daniels and her Irish dancers, it's no different. The Crown of Ireland Irish dancers rehearse at the Snug Harbor Cultural Center on Staten Island. Dawn has owned a dance studio for about 17 years, but dancing herself for 25.
I've always been in love with Irish step dance, but being able to teach that to students, to other people, and seeing them go from being a beginner to becoming an advanced dancer, to learning all the movements and being really good at it themselves, that's a joy that's even bigger to me than the joy of dancing myself.
Dawn teaches a variety of traditional Irish step dances, from soft shoe to hard shoe steps, and different styles, including the hornpipe, slip jig, and even the traditional reel.
For somebody who's never seen an Irish dancer before, to be able to describe what the dance form looks like, it's unique because it mostly just is a dance form that uses the legs and the feet, whereas the upper body is very straight, very high kicks, a lot of work up on our toes, as in point, and a lot of fantastic rhythmic sounds coming from our feet.
Dawn Daniels and her dancers aren't the only source of Irish culture in Snug Harbor. Just a building and a letter away, in Building G, is the St. Columkill Irish Cultural Center, home to dozens of books and trinkets from Ireland. I sat down with Hibernians to hear all about the building and their own connections to the wondrous culture. So to start off, what are Hibernians?
We try to keep the Irish traditions and the Irish culture alive on Staten Island.
Well, a Hibernian is it's a group with all Irish people. You meet people that have same interests or are interested in Irish culture. We do a lot of fundraisers, we support the community.
Well, the ladies' ancient order of Hibernians, I think, was started in order to help young women coming out to this country years ago, so that you would have a friend when you come out here. You wanted to be with your own type of people.
We run an Irish parade on Staten Island too for the last, it's over 50 years that the parade has been running.
I have a lot of friends. I have wonderful friends from the Ladies' Ancient Order of Hibernians. Most of my friends are Hibernians, actually. If you're not a Hibernian, you're not my friend.
So, what connects them all? What links the pipers and the drummers to the Irish dancers to the Hibernians, besides, of course, their common interest in Irish culture? It was called the Irish Fair, and they're here to tell you about it.
The main reason we created the Irish Fair here on Staten Island is because we used to work at the Great Irish Fair in Brooklyn. And we decided, why not do this on Staten Island? And the main reason we were making money is to try to get our own building, to have our own Irish Cultural Center here on Staten Island.
The Irish Fair on Staten Island was a wonderful event which showcased Irish culture, music.
Well, the Irish Fair is a huge festival, an Irish festival. Usually it's a 2-day event, and it has Irish music, 2 separate tents with Irish music, one with kind of more traditional Cayley music, and the other are much more popular bands and more kind of rock or Irish rock.
It is the one time a year that everybody gets together and enjoys the Irish heritage and culture, which involves music and dance and just generally getting together to socialize.
Everybody was up dancing, and it was a great success. It was the rain that killed us.
If it wasn't for the Irish Fair, I wouldn't have been a part of the band in the first place.
Although the Irish Fair was a staple event for most Staten Islanders, it was unfortunately closed this year due to financial troubles. But the Irish don't disappoint, and they're ready to get it back because it meant so much to them and their families.
We are looking to bring it back next year, but with a few changes.
I hope it goes well next year. As I say, not just because we're Hibernians or Irish, but for Staten Island, because we had so many people that weren't Irish that came, that enjoyed it. I was very proud to share my heritage with them.
When there's a problem, if you really want it solved, somebody will find a way to solve it. And I think this will happen eventually with the Irish Fair.
I hope this didn't just teach you to go out into the world and find your own Irish Fair, or fight for what you want, but to get involved in your own culture, because it's the most fulfilling thing you can do, whether it be playing an instrument from the country that your family is from, or even just reading up on different myths and stories that they'd share. Because I'm involved in my culture, and I'm as happy as I can be when I'm there, participating with friends and family, and friends that feel like family, and I want everyone to experience it the way I do. So, thank you, and I hope you visit Staten Island again.